You're listening to the Pintcast, where smart people in healthcare come to make noise. Here's your host, Jimmy McKay.
Look at that, new intro for 2025, 2026. Rebekah Griffith, Jimmy McKay. Rebekah Griffith, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm doing good. I don't think your microphone's on. I think I'm only hearing you. No, tap it. That's the way we test it. This is technical. Yeah. Oh, no, it is. You sound a little far away from it.
How about now?
Now you sound magical. There we go. All the audio listeners were like, wow, now we can hear. And she doesn't sound like she's from the room. All right. We have to do a very small mic. There's a dial on your microphone. I know this because I had that. There's 4 little indicators.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is it pointed at? Does it look like the one that is shaped like a heart?
Yes.
Okay. Then you have to point the microphone with that blue logo at yourself. Bam. Now talk.
How about now?
Now you sound magical.
Oh my goodness.
You have a $100. Most of the people I see, so that's for the podcast listeners and people who want to get into this. That is the Yeti Blue. It's one of the most popular starter microphones. I think it is a magical microphone. You could hammer nails with that microphone and still record a podcast episode. Here's the problem. It has 4 little switches that no one reads the instructions. That one, that mode that you have it on, that's great, but then you have to talk into the side of the microphone that has the little logo. And now we've talked about microphones for 60 seconds.
I love that, though, because now I just learned 60 seconds of information about my microphone. But
I see people doing anything, courses, just short little videos, and they have that microphone. And I'm like, you sound like you're across the room. And I know why it is, but I can't reach to the screen to help them. And I wish I could. Maybe this is a little bit of a non sequitur, which is I'm launching like a little cohort because people have been telling me like, hey, you should teach people how to podcast.
Yeah.
So we're doing invisible to visible, or I don't even know what the name is yet, but we're helping people launch their podcast. It's not magical. You could Google this and do it yourself, but you're not going to. And I've done it for a decade. So I can and I want to help people in healthcare because I think their message, I actually said no to a guy. I won't say who this is, but I said no to a guy because because I looked back at his profile and the guy spouts a lot of sort of nonsensical, non-science related stuff. And I was like, hey, we're all full. And he's like, you just launched this today. And I was like, yeah, we're good. I don't want to help people who, shit crazy stuff. So I'm like, yeah, we're good. So if you're a healthcare provider, just DM me. I mean, it's not a hard sell. I don't really hard sell, but step 0.01 is make sure you use your microphone correctly. So that's where we are right now.
Well, here we are, but I want to ask you a question.
Hit me.
Because I know we didn't talk about what we were going to talk about, but I'm going to tell you what I think we should talk about.
Okay. I have an idea too, but keep going.
Okay.
Two ideas is better.
My business coach said that I have homework before 2026.
Okay.
And the homework is to go back through my calendar and like take note of what I've done.
Love it.
And what I've accomplished and what I've like failed at. And like actually sit with it and be present about it and like celebrate the success and like review the failure. And I really don't want to do it.
Oh, why? Oh, well, yeah. Would you do it if the person did it with, if you do it, would you be more apt to do it if someone was doing it with you?
Maybe, but I think too, like I'm a like what's next kind of person. Like, okay, great. Like finish that thing. Like, okay, let's like what's like. If I fail at something, I'm going to relive it forever. But if I succeed at something, I'm like, great. Okay, what's next? Like that was today. Right. What have you done for me today? And so I think that's part of it. So I want to know, like, would you do that homework? And like, do you celebrate your accomplishments? And then how do you process your failures? I think it's a really good way to wrap up the year.
It is. And someone had a really great post. I forget who it was on LinkedIn. They're like, everybody's coming together now for resolutions. And then, of course, like the famous visual one, especially in our profession, is like gyms are going to be packed first week in January. And then there's 2 sides of this fence, which is like, screw all these people who take the spots and they're not going to be here in February. And then, of course, most healthcare providers are like, we know out of the 100 people who are doing it, only like, a small percentage are going to be doing it in June, but we're rooting.
Well, my challenge to those people who act like that is what could you do to make sure that person stays?
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's like very like, it's a mindset where it's like closed. It's like, well, if you're here, you're taking up my spot instead of the rising tide. So
especially if you're a healthcare provider, that's like a trash take.
I just deflected from your question. Would I do that? Yeah, I think I should. I sort of did that about a month and a half ago because I was like, I don't like the job I'm doing anymore. I don't think I'm a good fit for it. I think everybody in the room agreed. And then the next question is like, cool story, bro. What are you going to do? And then I turned my headphones on real loud, played loud, angry music, and went on LinkedIn, and I went on complete offense. Because I did look back, probably not as in depth as you're talking about, but I was like, what would you be excited to do? I ask this question to people all the time. What type of patient, client, whatever you want to call them, are you excited to see when they walk in the door? And then I reframe very quickly because then healthcare providers give me like logical answers, like diagnoses. And I'm just like, no. If you had a tail, who would it be wagging for when they walked in? Describe that person to me. And then that's what I sort of, and then they're like, oh, it's somebody who's motivated. Good. I don't want a diagnosis. I don't want a client that is in the healthcare space. I don't want a school that this. I don't want an ED no. I want people who are motivated to change. Great. Where do you find those people? How do you find those people? Now we're into where and what and how questions. I like those questions. So I gestured a second ago off to the left. Those are all because I did exactly the opposite of what you did. I did, what am I doing in 2026? Like, where's Jimmy going in the first 1, 2, 3, 4 months? But no, I think I did that, but I think I should. And then
and I feel like I can't decide where I'm going in 2026 until I actually maybe take a moment in 2025, because this time last year, I was like so excited about like all these things that were coming that I was doing. And now I don't even now I'm like, didn't take any time to actually like experience it, enjoy it, like process that, be present to what it was. And now I'm like, well, what am I possibly going to do in 2026? Yeah. So I don't know, but she probably gave me this homework like 2 months ago. And I'm like,
all right, so let's dive deep. Why are you like, how long do you think this job will actually take you?
Probably like 15 minutes to like make a list, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So what were your top 3 from 2025? You did a lot.
Like accomplishments?
I don't know. What was the exact homework? What are you supposed to list?
Like, what did you accomplish? And then like, where were your perceived failures at also? I mean, obviously I finished my fellowship, which was really good. And I, gave a presentation I was like really excited to give.
Was Asia this year? Was that 2025?
No, that was 2024 already.
That counts though. That's okay. Calendars are made up, that.
Gosh, see, I don't even know. Like there's been, and I recorded for MedBridge, which was really exciting.
Was that 2025?
Yeah, I finished my first.
That's like saying, think about this. Think about this. I recorded for MedBridge. Essentially, is like saying I have a show on Netflix. Like that's kind of a big deal.
It's a huge. Well, that's the problem. Is I'm like, well, I did this and I did that. Like I'm not taking any time to be like, wow, look at what you did this year.
So I think the reason your business coach had you do this is, and someone said it better, and I can't remember who it was, but like. People typically don't celebrate you until you're already the success, right? Like nobody's really there for you cheering during marathon training, but lots of friends come out and bring you a Gatorade or a funny sign during marathon day.
Yeah.
And that's not because they don't believe in you. It's because like 2 things. Number one, it's not their thing. And they've got their own things. That's 2 different things. It's not their thing. And they have their own things. It's not that they're not cheering for you. Like this whole do it because you prove the haters wrong. I'm like, I gotta be honest with you. There aren't haters. Like there's just someone who throws a jab every once in a while.
Oh, I got one this year. I have a hater.
Yeah. But what I mean is like haters aren't long-term. Haters are just like, I want to, and then like what I want to do is like, if you can lean in, and I'm not a psychologist, but I play one on the internet. It's like, who hurt you? Like everybody who tells you can't do something, it's because they try to do something, maybe similar, maybe not to what you're doing. And they're just like, it's not going to work.
But what if I put on my success list that I like got a hater this year? Like that feels like a new level.
I guess if you're, I mean, that's good.
I don't know.
Was this person like actively over a long period of time, like dumping on you? Or
no.
Yeah. That's their board. And they like to poke. There's this woman on Instagram. I forget what her thing is, but she speaks out politically. Notice I didn't say what her political leaning thing, and I won't. But when people, and she's very good at research. Her background is research. So when people like take shots about her, and she's also female, so people take shots about her looks a lot. I know this is going to shock you. She goes and does a deep dive on who they are and then sends those comments to like their mom. Sometimes I guess their boss too, but like a lot of times it's their mom or their wife. I'm like, hi, I just interacted with John on Instagram. I posted a video about this, and then he called me these things. Just wanted to see if you thought that was okay. And like, wow. That's next level devious. I like that. That's some effort, but like, oof. All right. So what do you think?
Content too.
So, all right. MedBridge. That was this year.
MedBridge. Finished my fellowship.
Fellowship number 2.
Like I gave a couple of keynote presentations and I was really excited about that. I taught my 16-year-old how to drive. Like that's probably my number 1 accomplishment this year. And we're still friends.
Good for you. It doesn't. Yeah, I've never really taught. I sort of taught my little brother how to drive, but that was a long, long time ago. And I think so good for you. That's the skill.
Yeah. Well, and he still likes me. So
it's not easy being a teenager.
I think that's good. So I think it's been a really good year. I think at the end of the year, I'm like, what did I do to move anything forward? And I don't know if other people feel like that, but I'm like, did I move my family forward? Did I move my profession forward? Did I move my business forward? Did I move any students forward?
Okay. Well, stop. Let's go into each one of those. So go to family first. Did you move? Yeah. What did you do to move your family forward in 2025?
I taught my son how to drive. All of my kids just got a 4.0. Got it. My husband's thriving in his business and doing great. I was very present. I was able to be home and present for almost every major milestone this year.
Good.
I don't know. Like, I think my family's great.
So that's good.
Yeah.
And then if I were your business coach, I've never met your business coach, I would say, awesome. How are we going to make sure those types of things happen again in 2026?
Oh, geez.
Well, all right, look back. The answer is always in the past, right?
Yeah.
What did you do to make sure those things happen in 2025? Spoiler alert. Let's do some of that magic. And then if it was like, I could have done more, great. Let's play that in too. I think that's what your business coach is trying to get you to do.
Totally. And I'm trying to avoid it. And here we are like live in front of all of the people, like doing it.
Pretend no one's listening. No one's listening anyway. But they're learning. That's the point.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like a good place to start with the family would be to just ask everybody, what did I do this year that helped make you feel successful? You had a really successful year. How did I contribute to that or detract from that?
Have you ever heard of
I have my kids give me a performance review every year when I take them for their physical. I ask them to give me a performance review. Like, how did I do as a mom this year? Is there anything I could have done better? Is there anything I did that like made you feel hurt or sad? And I try and go through that. I also have a rule that they can ask me anything. And if I don't know the answer, we'll find the answer together. Like, no judgment, we'll figure it out. So I think that leads to being able to have those conversations with them. So I think
have you ever heard of stop, start, continue?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a business thing. Like you sit down with your
manager.
That's a
good idea.
It is. I've done it a lot. I love the idea. I've never seen it executed in the last 10 years with me well. Like for me working with people, I've been like, all right, I'm happy to give feedback. And they're like, hey, thanks. And I'm like, are we gonna do any of that gonna happen? Or was that just, oh, we're done. Got it. Okay, cool.
But I feel like that's also simple enough that like kids could easily understand that and be
I think kids understand it. I think adults
like, for sure.
Let's just be very clear. I think kids understand it. I feel like kids can answer these questions way faster than adults. And I feel like kids will also be like, so are we gonna do that like 3 months from now? You're doing the thing I told you to stop. And you haven't done the thing I told you to start.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's family. Now what's next? Business?
Yeah.
Personally?
Yeah. Like my business, I feel like, that's the question. Like, did I help people? Did I make an impact? Did I transform anybody's practice? Like all of those things. Did I help my patients? Like all of those questions I need to like sit with, I think. But like, if I think about it, like, I helped a hospital in Arkansas have their first emergency PT in the entire state of Arkansas. So that's great. I think about all these like little sacred patient interactions that made me feel good and made me feel like this is a job I'm meant to do. mentoring other PTs has been really fulfilling. Like all of those things, I think, has been helpful. I just don't know how to like measure that impact.
How would you measure it? How would you tell me to measure it?
I guess I don't even know what success looks like. So how would I like?
How would you define? Yeah. So there you are.
So that's gross. And if I look at like the feedback from my courses, the feedback's like super positive, but then it's like, did it make a difference long term? Like, do I go back to those people and be like, hey, did this course actually help you? I know it felt great in the moment. Your feedback was really good. I'm surveying you 6 months later, maybe. Did the course change your practice? Might be a good way to look at that also.
Like you could say it's a good marketing move or business move to like ping past customers or patients and go, did it work? Did it elicit the change or not? But it's also good for you.
Right.
If you can get them to give that feedback, which is simple but not easy. But you have to ask. Step 1 is asking.
Right. And that's scary.
Yeah.
I think this whole process is scary. It's like actually like objectively reflecting on what was successful and what was not. And I think it's really easy for me to discount my successes. I probably overanalyze my failures a little bit too much. And then are they actually failures? Or are they just growth moments? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was your biggest accomplishment this year?
I have no idea. I haven't thought about it.
Right.
I feel like you've spent some time with it and I haven't.
I've been spending some time trying to avoid thinking about it, but then thinking about it subconsciously.
Yeah, I think we're really, really good at saying like, here was my biggest failure. Because we attach to those or we stick to those.
Yeah.
There's probably something deeper psychologically there.
I feel like it's a generational thing. I saw a meme this morning that said if you're a millennial, you take comfort in productivity instead of rest.
Probably.
And I think it was this whole like, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean mentality. I don't know if you've heard that.
Yeah. That was everywhere. What were your first like couple of jobs? What would you
McDonald's.
Do? Yeah, hustle mentality, right? I was a busboy. I was a waiter. I was a busboy. I was barback, bartender, all those things, which were like, let's keep moving. There's always a job for you to do. Oh, you're done? Well,
no, you're not.
We're gonna clean. Or you're gonna prep for tomorrow. And so like you just moved for 8, 10, 12 hours, and that was good. All right, so now you're looking forward. What's on the plan? This part should be easy for you.
Gosh, it's not like, and so I was sitting here thinking about like, what am I going to do in 2026? I got my big calendar down to start filling it out. And I'm like, well, I'm not even doing anything this year. I haven't found the opportunities I'm looking for. I don't know if I'm going to host any courses this year. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then as I'm filling out the calendar, I'm realizing I have some things already in January and February and April and, October. Like there are things on the calendar, but I'm not.
Which calendar you use specifically? Sounds like a weird question, but do you have like just a giant paper calendar? Do you get it like Staples?
I have a giant multicolored wall. Like each month has a beautiful colored wall.
I bought one of these. It's called the big ass calendar. Yeah, it comes tomorrow. So do you know who Jesse Itzler? This guy is?
Mm-hmm.
I had never heard of this guy until like 6 months ago, maybe a year ago. And he's everywhere. And this is why this is a lesson in why people follow you, why they listen to you is because you see either a future or current or past version of yourself in them, or you want to, right?
Okay.
So I saw this guy and like his vibe is like, well, he married, I think he did pretty well in the marriage department. So this guy married up. Sarah Blakely, do you know who that is? She invented Spanx, which is a product that everybody told her not to invent because like this is stupid. And now she's a billionaire, like quite literally $1 billion. Great story.
I didn't have any sleeper billionaire success this year.
But you don't know that. I'm sure if you interviewed Sarah Blakely, like when she was in year 1 or 6 months or whatever, like it was just a big dumb idea in her head. And then she was like, I'm just going to keep going. And then she did. So anyway, Jesse's got a weird, he started Marquis Jet, which was like, hey, you don't have enough money he just freaking decided to solve millionaire problems. He's like, you don't have enough money for a jet? What if you rented jets per hour? And I'm not even saying he's the first person to have invented this, but he's like, we do Marquis Jet. Him and a friend who were like, we barely knew anything about airplanes. And they just were like, we just have to position ourselves to solve this problem for people with lots of money. And I've heard this before from people who, sharks on Shark Tank or just successful people. It's like the only difference between solving a $5, $50, $500, $5,000, $50,000, $500,000 problem is just zeros. They're just different problems, different things at stake. But everybody's like, do you want to solve $1 million $5 problems? Then you can make $5 million. That's hard, right? That's hard. Or do you want to solve 5 $1 million problems? That's also hard, but scope feels a little bit better. So anyway, I've listened to this guy, Jesse, for like a million, weeks now, for several years. Listen to stuff he puts out, and he's pretty logical. And he's like, listen, and also I feel like I said, you see either past, current, or future versions of yourself in people.
Yeah. I'm
very visual, and it sounds like you are too, right? Because you have a calendar. So I use digital apps. I'm digital pretty much with everything. And then it's like, how do you lose that? It's in your calendar. It's in your digital whatever. It's like, because I don't see it.
Yeah.
So I needed this thing. And it was like $40. And I was like, you know what? I know that I'm just buying a thing to buy a solution. I get it. And we've failed at that. Although things visually for me, things I use over and over again, and I'm gesturing again off camera, which is my stupid dry erase board on wheels that people come into my house and like, you have a dry erase board in your kitchen. I go, yep. Like, but you have a MacBook. I go, yep. Dry erase boards better to start with. And then I make the magic. It's like, this is my cutting board, my dry erase board. And then the computer is like my food processor, my oven, my distribution center to get the food out.
Well, I do like that you can see all of that in one thing. And I have my calendars like hung over my computer so I can see them, but they're also like hard to get to. So once I hang it up, I don't know that I usually like update it.
Yeah. I'm going to tape this on one side of my rolling dry erase board. Because I was like, same thing. Where am I going to put this? Downstairs in my office that I'm not in? 90% of the time I'm in my living room. Want to know why? Number one, it's got my Christmas tree. Number two, big windows. Big ceiling. Number three, it's next to my kitchen. Like, be logical about it. I have an office. So all my stuff's down there. I just don't really use it. Why? Because I'm a human. And we do human things. So I said, when this calendar arrives tomorrow, where am I going to put it on? And I was like, I'm going to tape it to the back. I'm going to lose one half of my dry erase board. That's good, though. But it's so visual, and you can like see it just in this picture that Jesse's holding up. You can see it. And I also like this. So this was the purpose of me. This was my purpose of talking about our episode today.
Yeah.
So Jesse's like, your big ass year starts here. So I bought the calendar. Look, I bought in. It's all about commerce and capitalism, but it's not, because Jesse, the reason I bought his calendar was this. This is pretty much what he is preaching all year. So have you ever heard of a misogi?
No.
So Jesse talks about a misogi, which is a year-defining event. I feel like your business coach would like this.
Probably.
So he's saying when you look back on 2020, now move that number, 2026, as the year that you made it happen, what is a thing, a trip, a business goal, a life bucket item? Make sure it's within the realm of possibility, but plan out. Like, this is I'm going to run a marathon. Maybe that's it. It doesn't have to be physical. But he's like, I'm going to do a misogi, and I'm going to climb. I climbed a mountain with my PT school roommate, David. And I don't know if I've done anything physical like that big since then. I've done physical stuff, but like, I liked climbing mountains. Want to know why? Because I'd never done it before. And I'm more of a guy who's like, you're going to do what? Okay. I'm less of the guy who's going to map it out, though.
Right.
If you're going, I'm coming. So David one year was just like, we're going to climb mountains in Washington State. And I was like, okay. He's like, does that mean you're going? I'm like, yeah. Like, just show me what I need to buy. Where do I click? When do I need to land? Where are we staying? Kind of. Like, I just generally. So Jesse is like, the only way this happens is if you're intentional about it. And it doesn't need to be climb a mountain. But he says, choose a misogi, a 1 year defining event. This way, for me, I'm a big dumb animal. If I'm going to get in shape, I need to sign up for a triathlon or a marathon.
There's got to be a thing.
I'm dumb. I chase, I chase tennis balls like I'm a golden retriever. Yes. Being in shape and being fit does not do it for me. It doesn't. But if I were on a team and we were had a season and a championship, different. I play beer league hockey. That's just sort of like, we just hang out for an hour or two a week. It's not enough. So I know in 2026, I need to plan a race. Or a trip. So I'm actually looking at, and I've talked this about several times, and someone actually emailed me from the podcast. I've talked about, I don't know why, I've never done this, but I want to go somewhere like in Utah. I don't even know why Utah.
With all like Colorado, Jimmy.
Well, this person said they live very close to Colorado, or they live in Colorado, but very close to Moab. Yes. Do I have that right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm from New York and I've never been. And to me, that's magical. Maybe from people from Utah, look at New York and they think it's magical. And I just want to do one of those trips where you like bike all day and then like you have your tent on your bike and you just like drop and there you are in the beauty. Backpacking, but on a bike. Bikepacking. Oh, bikepacking. See, I didn't even know it was a term. Great. I want to do that. Yep. Why? Never done it. That's what I want to do. So that is a misogi. So then he goes on to say, okay, pick a misogi and obviously put it on the calendar.
Okay.
And then he says, plan 6 mini adventures.
Ooh.
So these are like, they're not going to be like, climb a mountain maybe, but like you should be doing stuff. So maybe it's for me, I've always wanted to learn how to like climb. Like I've done rock climbing before, but I want to do it more. And there's one like 20 minutes from my house. At like Minnewaska State Park. And I'm like, let's do that. That's a mini adventure. He calls it Kevin's rule because his buddy Kevin just like told him to do it. But he's like, every other month, do one thing you wouldn't normally do. Here's the thing. Because you start looking at, when you have a calendar like Jesse sold, you start looking at things like, man, I just burned another week. And there's only 52. Yes. When you're looking ahead, you're like, 365 days, there's a lot. But you just burned another week. So he's like, plan 6 mini adventures and do it every other month. He's like, doesn't need to be like massive, but like this way you've done stuff. There's something to look forward to. There's something to look back on. Yeah. So that's his step 2. Number 1 is the misogi. Number 2, plan 6 mini adventures. So instead of watching TV on Sunday, which is fine, do a hike, do a polar plunge, take a cooking class or a trip, but just have something.
Yeah.
And notice like this went from big to smaller. And then his next step is even smaller. Create 4 winning habits. Not 32, not I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this. Jesse says create 4 winning habits. Define 1 new daily winning habit for each quarter of the year. And I'm like,
I have that in my
planner. Now you're doing what like James Clear said in his book, which is your habit stacking. What does it say? You're pointing at something.
It says habits. In my new planner, there is a spot for 6 daily habits.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I kind of like that. So what would your big one be?
I started doing this recently, which is I blocked off time on Fridays to plan next week. When I walk into my week and I'm like, I got a call here and here and here, usually I'm planning for the call 20 minutes before. I'm planning for the live stream an hour before. Yeah. I said on Fridays, I plan all of next week. And I've done this before, and it feels like I have hired an assistant. But the assistant was me. So it has to be on the calendar. So I had to block my calendar, be like, no one can call me from noon on Friday. I'm busy. But then it's not, let's go play video games or watch whatever, or do whatever. It's accomplish this task of setting up yourself for success next week. And when you're done, then you can go do whatever you want. And it felt like I had an assistant.
I think my problem is my schedule is so wildly different every single week. It makes it really hard for me to have any systems.
I put in my Google Calendar that you have to book a call X number of hours ahead of time. You can't be like, can I talk to you tomorrow? Be like, no, here's my calendar. And you have to hold to that. It sucks, but like...
It's just like some weeks I'm traveling and some weeks I'm working a shift and some weeks I'm teaching and some weeks I'm just home with my kids. It's like very hard to be like every Friday I could do this.
Okay. Well, then erase Friday. Then erase Friday, but just say I need to dedicate 1.5 hours to prepping my next week, or maybe it's a month. Like, right? Like, listen, like my dad gave me great examples. Like New York City firefighter, their truck was ready to go at all times. That's proactive. But stuff goes sideways. You're a fireman. Like stuff goes sideways. They're like, but we can react when we've been proactive. And then every time when they would come back to the firehouse, they'd all like go, if it was like a bad fire, they go get showered, they cleaned up. Are we now ready to go after the bell rings? Yes. Good. We're back online. Everybody meet in the kitchen and we talked about what just happened. What did you see? What did you see? What did you see? What could we have done better? What stop, start, continue? Didn't matter if you've been a fireman for 25 years. Didn't matter if it was your first week. What did you see? This is important. So Jesse says to stack 4 habits. Here's the thing. What I don't know if he specifically says here. Now, he does not say come out of the gate January 1 and give me 4 winning habits. He says to find one new daily winning habit for each quarter. So pick one for the first quarter, and then when second quarter comes, hopefully you're still holding on to that first one, and then slowly add. This is digestible.
Yeah. I like that. It doesn't feel like too much.
And notice, smart guy, he says, simply check the box each day. Choose a system for marking your daily habit as complete.
Man, what are the winning habit ideas?
It should take a few minutes. It could be like, for me, I have a new thing. Someone, and this is an old statement, which is don't put it down, put it away.
Oh yeah.
I am freaking horrible with that. So I started, for me, that's number one. Don't put it down, put it away. Like you've heard that Admiral's commencement speech where he's like, make your bed. Oh, his whole commencement speech, he's like a Navy admiral, and he's like, make your bed. And it's like, why? And then he gives all these neurological and these like reasons why. He's like, because you'll have accomplished one thing before you even like leave like a foot and a half from your bed. And he's like, that's what military is sort of based on. It's like, I need you to do this. Why? Why does our uniform have to be perfect? It's like, it's not about the uniform. It's about the fact that you have a habit. And we all say that this is the standard. And if you're below it, you're out. But when you're a one-person crew, there's no standard. You might say you have a mission statement, you have a vision statement. Those are bullshit. Do you make your bed? Do you put it down? Like, so I like, don't put it down, put it away was one. For me, you know how like inbox zero, people are like, I'm at inbox zero. I am not at inbox zero. I'm legitimately, I think I'm at 6-figure unread emails. But that's because I just have a bunch of bull. Yeah, but a lot of those are just like spam emails that I just like.
Well, you got to have a separate email address for that.
Yeah. I'll work on that. Mine is sync zero. It's either clean or it's in the dishwasher, but it doesn't sit in the sink anymore. Okay. So it's similar to like, don't put it down, put it away with like dishes. Why? I move fast and I'm just like bang, 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 bang. And then I feel miserable and then I don't touch it for 2 days and then it's like this. And then you don't do it because it's insurmountable. So I think it doesn't really matter what your habits are. I think we can get into this. I think the answer for this would be, have you read James Clear?
Yes.
Habits. Then pick 4.
Well, he has a list there. It says 50 winning habits on that thing that you just showed.
Does he? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Hang on. How do I get that?
So it says 50 winning habit ideas. Yeah.
Smart man.
I don't want to know what they are. Health and wellness.
Oh, look, you broke nice. Mindset. Write down one thing you're grateful for. Set one clear intention for the day. Read 10 pages. Eat one serving of fruit. Get 30 minutes of fresh air. Yeah, pick 4 of these. Like literally, he's not saying start a new LLC.
Yeah.
What he's saying is like very, very small. And the thing is, some of these will stick and some of them won't, but that's okay because you picked important ones. So if now looking back, the math is simple. Jesse says 1 Masogi, 6 Kevin's rules. Wow, 6. That added up quick. Yeah, 1 every other month for a year, 6. That'd be cool. And then 4 winning habits. Just make sure you do them and hold yourself accountable. So I bought a calendar was going to be my discussion point, even though my most used app. What are your most used apps without your computer, without your phone telling you? What do you think your most used apps are?
Instagram.
Really? Okay, keep going.
Gmail. Yes. Text.
Yeah.
And WhatsApp.
I would say mine, like outside of like text and social platforms, mine are notes and calendar.
Notes and calendar for sure are probably my other 2. If they're not like social communication.
Yeah, those are like it's like hammer, screwdriver, like social apps are like output devices. But I guess they also are input devices because we're consuming. So I think you're right.
Yep.
All right, so I got a calendar.
I got a new planner. I got a beautiful new planner. It's great.
To me, the planner I have to open. Planners for me are like jotting things.
Well, and I had a planner last year that I hated and I didn't use it. And I got permission to stop using it in the middle of the year. Like I really needed that. I needed to be freed from it. But this planner layout is one I've had before and I really like it because it has like a lot of spaces for me. Like if I write down a to-do list, I'm kind of unstoppable. If I don't write it down, I'm sort of host. And my other planner didn't have a space for that. Is it really about putting things on the calendar? I don't think so. It's more about like planning out intentionally each day. It's less about planning out the year. It's about planning out, what am I doing this week? What am I doing today? And then each week also has like a space for you to write your priorities. It has a space for you to take notes. So when I have ideas and I'm like, I really want to do this for content, or I want to, send this email, or I want to do a podcast about this, I can write it all in there and it doesn't get lost. And I actually went through some of my old planners that were set up like this. And I was like, well, these were really good ideas that I didn't use. And I still have them. Yeah. And I'm able to go back to that. So I really like that. I also have a goal of like everywhere I travel this year, I want to get a sticker from that place and cover my planner with stickers from the places that I've traveled. So at the end of the year, I can visually see too, where have I been this year? Because I do travel a lot.
It's kind of cool, right? Like almost like your passport and where the stickers are from and stuff like that.
So I'm already thinking about where I'm going. You know, I'm going to Arizona. I'm going to Washington, D.C. in January. I'm going to California and Boston.
What are you going to D.C. for? Oh, is it Graham Sessions?
Yep.
I'm trying to decide if I should go.
You should go.
Why though?
Because I think the conversations are important, even if they feel redundant. Sometimes I think
that's my only beef. That's my only beef with them. I feel
but that's why you need different people in the room, right? So that you can push the conversations in different directions. I also like to hear the conversations because my goal really is to push the entire profession forward in any small way that I can. So I need to listen to people in all different spaces about like what works for them in the profession, what doesn't. So I like to hear from people in that room because I feel like the thoughts are just a little bit maybe more unfiltered than in other places. So I like hearing that conversation.
So my only beef is, so I was invited back in 2016, 2017 to record there, right? I don't know, podcast. So to me, I was like, you want to invite me to a meeting where where no one's supposed to say anything outside the room. They're like, well, no, that's actually not what the deal is. It's just, you're not supposed to tell, like anybody's supposed to feel it's a safe space. Like you can say whatever you want. No one will hold you accountable for the idea. Right. Although I've been in the rooms, like none of the, like no offense, but none of the ideas were so egregious that like people were like, I don't want my name attached. Like that wasn't said.
Yeah.
None of those things. They were all like, yeah, everyone said those ideas before. My problem was I went 2 years in a row and I was like, these are the same things we talked about last year.
Right.
And everyone, and I noticed, because I noticed language, people kept saying they or we. And I was like, but no me or I. Like, we need to change this. And I was like, cool, who's that?
Yeah.
Like our profession. I'm like, a profession's like when people say the blah, blah, blah community, I'm like, there's no community. There is none. It's you. Like people are like, APTA sucks. And I'm like, no, it's just and then I go, which ones? And like, what do you mean? Which members? Like point at them. And I'm like, is that person cool? And like, well, that person's cool. So
I'm the APTA, you're the APTA, we're all because the community is made up of the individuals, right? So
or if you're like, well, I'm not a member, I'm like, cool, all right. So but you're still in the boat.
You're still in the boat. Yes. Where you're being pulled along by the boat.
I'm not saying join or don't join. I know you're APTA Colorado president. I'm pro APTA, but I understand why people don't join. I think it's a messaging issue. That's a different topic. But my thing is when people are like, they spend so many calories bitching about a thing that they're in charge of.
Well, and I want to hear that because I have ideas, right? Like about what we could do to be better as a profession. So, and I try to implement those in my own life. I try to share those. I try to be the provider I would like to see. I would like to be the provider I would want to send somebody to. I want people to think forward. But I want to be in rooms where those conversations are happening, whether that's Graham Sessions, whether that's CSM, whether that's in the comments on Instagram. Like I want to be part of those conversations because I can only do what I can do. And I want to contribute well in those spaces.
Back to Graham Sessions.
Yeah.
Love the idea. Love the concept, right? I was invited. I reached out to some people who were putting Graham Sessions on and I was like, listen, I really want to come, but I need to be able to do stuff that leaves the room. And everybody says it's probably a good idea, but I don't want to say yes or no to you. That's usually when you know you have something. When no one says no, also no one says yes, but they're just like, I don't want to make this call. This call feels dangerous. Like if I say yes and it gets out of hand and I'm like, I've been doing this for a decade. Can you point to one time when I've done something that got out of hand? Like I have a microphone. Let's not make this bigger than it is, like we're going to have conversations. I'm also not running around with a hidden microphone. Like people know when they're speaking to me.
Right.
So for me, I'm just like, I want to make sure that what happens there actually moves the needle. Like there's 150 people that go to that thing. That's it. Cool. I'd rather converse with the other 99.999. Here's the magical part. You can have the 150 people, their ideas touch the other 99.99999 if you, and
exactly.
So I'm like, hey, can we do something here with guardrails? Again, I'm not going to have a hidden mic thing. And again, I was invited to do this a decade ago. which I thought would be a nice revisit.
I think you should do it.
Still waiting for a yes.
I think you should just.
But I don't, no offense, like I'm not going to pay $300, drive for 6 hours to maybe do something. Because no offense, you have those conversations that like similar types of conversations with those same people in my living room.
Yep.
Like to quote, like to go look at Jesse, I'm doing that like this, like just a calendar. Like this is what I do every damn day. Why do we need to do it once? Now I see the advantage of doing it all in one spot. People play off each other well. So I was like, hey, I was invited to this thing, but I need to ask like stipulation, like, can I do this? And everybody's like, I don't know.
Well, and I really like the conversations that happen at happy hour, which obviously is, you are a huge proponent of that, right? The best conversations happen at happy hour. And so I think being in person for those types of events is great too, because even if you're having these conversations in the room, I think what they spark are the conversations that come after that. And I really enjoy that piece.
So otherwise, I'll save myself $300 and a round trip, drive to Virginia, and I'll just call 10. I'll be like, hey, give me 10 people who were at Graham sessions. What were the top 3 things that you saw, heard, and what's one thing you're going to implement? That's an entire episode. That could be a week's worth of episodes. But I can do that from my living room. So explain why I need to be in the room. I don't know the answer.
I think if you're not in the room, you can't participate in the conversation.
Sure you can.
In that moment.
You just told me your most used app was Instagram.
I know. I just mean you can't you can't get up to the mic and like shift the conversation if you're not.
I don't know if anybody's shifting the conversation.
I don't either, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to get I'm not going to stop trying.
Again, I still think 2026, I don't think 5 years ago I needed to explain to people why better messaging and more communication and clarity in communication and frequency in communication was important. And people were like, yeah, Jimmy, but I think that's a down the road problem. That's like a top 50 problem. And I think 2026 has now said this is a top 2 problem.
It's an upstream problem.
And I'm saying you have a conference that no information will leave the room. And I'm like, that's not a conference, it's a meeting.
Yeah, that's valid.
So I don't want to come to your meeting because this feels like I'm not going to get anything out of it. But then you look at the itinerary, it's not a meeting. There are sessions. Like you can see the sessions and whatnot. I'm like, those all sound great, but like we're also going to go to CSM in a couple of weeks. What's the difference? There's a different audience. There are different problems. Yeah. Good. But if it never leaves the room, this is performative.
I don't know that that's the intention.
I don't think it's the intention, but I'm like, you've done this for how many years? I think it's 20 years. Because I was invited in 2020. Oh, this will be 19 years, I think. I was invited in 2016 to interview the 3 founders, Steve Anderson, Patrick Graham, and oh my God, I'm forgetting the third guy's name. Sorry, it's blanking right now. I'll remember it as soon as we stop this live stream. But I was invited because they were like, let's look back at the last 10 years. So I would say, here, let me play Rebekah's business coach to the Graham sessions. Can you show me 3 things that happened because of this meeting that you're proud of?
Yeah.
And if you can, awesome. Let's reverse engineer how that happened. And if not, how do we know if this is successful? We got together and felt good. That's awesome. That's a cool event. That's a reason to get together.
It's not a reason not to.
No. For me, I need something more because this has not changed in how long. So that's what I'm looking for. I think it is important. The funny part is I actually think it is important and powerful if we do it differently. Everybody wants change. What do we want? Change. When do we want it? Now. What are we willing to do to get it? The same thing we did yet. Let's do the same thing again. No.
Well, I think that's exactly why I need to look back on my year and see what was successful, what I did to make it that way, what wasn't successful, what my responsibility is in that, and otherwise it might change for 2026. It's not coming.
Agreed. So I would say, what does success look like for this? How do you know? How will you measure that you achieved it? It could be out of 150 people, 73 of them said this was awesome. That is a measure of success. I don't know because I'm not involved. But
I say that to my patients.
Yeah.
What does success look like for you today?
Yes.
I need to apply that to my year. I think, what does success look like for you in 2026?
Yeah, it's tough to hit a goal unless you name it, unless you say it out loud, unless you write it down. It's stupid and dumb and feels like it doesn't work. But in my opinion, for me, it does. I can't speak for everybody. For me, it does. And I need to get better at that if I want to see the results that I want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I went full aggressive. We're getting messages on the side. Someone told me that, oh, you asked me before what my biggest accomplishment was. And I was like, I don't know. Someone told me my biggest accomplishment was I decided to lock in what I really wanted to do for a living and ignore the noise. I stopped trying to get a job and started doing what I really wanted to do. And that's the answer. How is that going to happen? I got like 6 ways. One of the ways is working directly with APTA sections and academies. Mm-hmm. I've had probably 20 something phone calls with APTA sections, academies, state chapters for this idea. I'll share the idea. The magic isn't the idea. Bless you. Do you know how many have said yes, no, or maybe? Where do you think all the answers are?
12. 12 yeses.
No yeses.
20. No yeses? 20 maybes.
20 maybes. No yeses.
Maybes. That doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Do you know what I need? And I've got it. I need one chapter, a large one, to say yes. And then I can call all the other 19 and go, I won't say who it is, but I pretty much have one that's like, I can see, everybody has said, I see no reason not to do this. And I was like, great. So do I get a yes? Here's why. If I wanted to do this idea, and you know my idea, and I'll explain it in a second. If I want to do it in Colorado, how many yeses do I need?
Oh, the whole board.
Oh my God. How many times a year does the entire board agree on anything?
Well, I guess you wouldn't need the whole board. You would need a majority of the board. Okay.
But I had this idea a month ago, and no one can say that's a bad idea. I said, well, you really willing to do that? I'm like, yes, I know how to do this. I could do this tomorrow. And also, it's not a new idea. It's an old idea with a new wrapper on it that now works. And here's the idea. I'll just say it out again. If I can't explain it in 30 seconds or less, state chapters and academies have 3 problems. You need new members, you need to keep your members engaged, and you need non-dues revenue, or you will not survive. Right. Am I correct? Now, please push back if I'm wrong. Okay. Yep. Nope. To get new members, you need someone to become an APTA member. You can help do that, but that's not a direct line to success. To me, it's keeping members engaged and non-dues revenue. If you don't have those things, I actually think keeping members engaged helps not needing new members, right?
Right.
People. So I don't think the issue is that you don't do enough or you're doing the wrong things. I think you're fine. I think let the board be in charge of that. I think if people don't see what you're doing and they don't feel what you're doing, there's a disconnect and they just say, well, then there's nothing going on. There's nothing of value.
Yes.
So my offer is I will come in, I will launch or if you already have one, a podcast or a YouTube channel. If you already have one, I will then take over some production with a production team that I have. And we will now create content for you. This is at no risk financially to a state chapter or academy, because I will also hold your hand and find the money. There are sponsors out there. Go to CSM, walk in the expo hall, go to state. How many do you guys have sponsors at your annual conference, right? Mm-hmm. So you make, I don't care how much money you make, but you make money on 1, 2, 3, 4 days a year, and the other 361, not too much.
Yep.
So offer them, everybody wins here. The section or chapter or academy gets exposure. They keep that environment. They get non-dues revenue. A sponsor gets exposure, which is what they're willing to pay for. And members actually see, taste, hear, feel, smell their membership.
Yes.
That's my model. I hope someone else steals it as well. That's proof of concept. So I'm not trying to gatekeep the idea, but here's the thing. No one else is doing it. So everyone says, maybe. They say, well, eventually probably get to yes. And I go, here's the thing you have to remember. I can only do this with so many chapters. Like there's going to be a point where I'm like, I don't know how to scale. I got to start hiring people, which might happen. Right. Like right now we're at 0. Except for one. One has been like, okay, we're going to push this through. And I'm like, when? Like ballpark, is this a 90-day thing? Is this a 6-month thing? Is this a let's do it tomorrow thing? So that's my big, hairy, audacious goal for 2026. I'm saying it out loud. I've been saying it out loud for the last 3 weeks.
I love it.
But I don't, yeah. So is my strategy wrong? Why am I getting maybes but not yeses?
I think there's a fear about how much stuff costs and what like the return will be. And so I think that's where people are thinking like,
can I allay that?
I think the other issue is you're like, well, we'll have a podcast and volunteer members here. That's more work.
Can I allay that?
Probably, but I'm just telling you, like, as a chapter president, if I hear that, I'm like, podcast, oh my gosh, that's one more thing I have to do. So I think it's those things.
Can I allay 1 and 2? So your first thing was cost. Yep. I will not start production. I will never charge you until you already have that amount of money plus money in the bank.
Great.
What I'm saying is You'll give me the list of your sponsors, and you can come on the call with me. We will now call your sponsors from 2025 and say, we want you back for our state chapter annual conference. How many do you have? Do you have one or two? I can't remember. You have
just
two.
One.
You
just one. We used to have two.
When is yours? Ballpark.
October.
Looking forward to having you back in October. It's this much again. By the way, 3 sponsors from this year can also have, it's an upsell. If we go 0 for 30, I just never start the YouTube channel or the podcast. I tell you, it's going to cost X amount per month. We don't start until we already have that in your bank account. The second part, the amount of work, agreed. You will launch this as a volunteer organization, and then 3 weeks later, it'll stop.
Right.
I'm telling you, I will not start production until we have a 12-month runway. This will be going on for the next 12 months. We build that cost in. So it will get done because my team's going to do it because they're getting paid to do it. Volunteer efforts get volunteer results. Paid efforts get paid results. And this should be a revenue generator for you, not a cost. You should be covering my costs and also making money. And I can guarantee that. Or I just don't do the work.
Just don't do it. Yeah.
Like, it's not like, yeah.
But then like, who's going to be on the podcast?
You tell me. Now that's the question.
That's
to get
the thing
into.
I have to do.
Hold on. And this is how I answer that. I love that because that is also injection. This is where like boards or state chapters, academies, they have PR teams or PR committees that are typically do not have the tools, training, or the time to do the PR thing.
Yep.
So I say, can this PR committee give me 1 hour every quarter? And they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, 4 hours a year. I mean, you're on a committee, right? 1 hour every quarter. I will run the meeting and I will ask you questions like, let's go real high level. Give me some like feeling words. What do you want people to feel about your chapter, your section, your academy? I want to feel inspired.
I want them to feel inspired. I want them to feel like they're part of something.
Good.
I want them to feel motivated to participate, especially because we're going to have a lot of legislative battles. Like, I want them to feel informed.
Got it. Now I'll pause and say, love those words. I got inspired, like it mattered, and informed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you give me 4 things that have to happen.
Yeah.
So our first episode is going to be about inspiration. Give me someone from your chapter who did something inspirational. In, out of the profession, I honestly don't care. Give me someone in week number 2, someone who's part of something. Show me someone part of the committee that they did something legislatively maybe in 2024, that you accomplished something. Great. It's going to be about that. But it's not just a story about that. The person listening to it or watching it is now saying, oh, I can do that. Oh, look at that. I could do that. Oh, that's important. Oh, they're doing that. Number 3, that it mattered. I scribbled. I don't have great
like being a member matters to them specifically.
Good. We're live doing this. Give me an example of one of those things.
Like if you take patients who have Medicaid,
got it,
and Medicaid is going to get cut in this legislative season, almost certainly for all providers, that should matter to you. And we need members to help us with testimony. We need members to help us with patient letters. We need members to help us with lobbying money. We need members to help us with PAC donations, like all of that, because that cut will impact your bottom line.
So and your ability you need members or potential members to know something, feel something, and then maybe potentially do something. So I would 100%. Say, hey, Rebekah, it sounds like we have the topic and the ingredients. Who are 1 or maybe 2 people that you can think of about that topic that I should talk to? Members, your lobby team that you pay, right? That's an episode. Whoop, there's another week. We've just solved 3 weeks. I need you to do that for 1 hour, and we're going to come up with 13 topics or people. And then I'm just going to go, got it. See you in a quarter. So that PR team needs to give me 4 hours a year because they're going to write our episodes for us, the topic, the guest, whatever. Now Rebekah sees where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're proactive. We've got the 52 weeks lined up. What would happen if something happened in Colorado, like legislatively, you needed to react? Great. We're already recorded 13 weeks ahead of time. We can now sit down and do a live stream or a webinar or one of those, and we can backfill. Yes, this is Communications 101, baby. This is why in radio we scheduled, music for 2 to 3 days out. Why? Is it because we wanted to be boring and programmatic? No, it's because we understand how the world works.
Yep.
So there's no risk at cost. There's not a ton of extra work. In fact, I would actually say if I signed up for the PR committee for APTA Colorado and I wasn't involved in this, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, dude, I thought I was signing up for this. But this is giving them stuff to do with guardrails, which is like, I need within this box, you are going to put what's on the menu. You're creating the menu of the soundtrack using mismatching analogies. You're creating the soundtrack of your state chapter. Ta-da!
We don't have a PR committee.
You could in about 11 minutes. I need 4 motivated people who can give me 4 hours in 2026.
Okay.
Give me someone who's a student. Give me someone who's a new grad. Give me someone who's a seasoned clinician. Give me someone who's an academic. And that way, you don't get too much of this, not enough of that. And then you get someone who knows how to run a meeting. This isn't really a meeting. I don't really love running meetings. A creative sesh.
Yes.
And I go, great. We have to get to the number in the next 60 minutes. We need to get to the number 13. And then you just make them talk and talk and talk. And then I just go, hang on. Sounds like you wish this, or you saw this, or when you signed up, you thought you'd get this, but you actually got this. And then I turn to Rebekah and I go, well, does that happen? And you're like, actually, yeah, it happens over here. We do. Oh, they didn't know that. Let's do an episode on that. Let's just shine a little light on that. Here it is. Oh, look at that. Shine a light on it. That's it. That is, in my opinion, the difference between people feeling engaged and not. It does not need to all be $10,000. It doesn't. And should be paying for itself because sponsors are like, that does sound like good content. People are going to listen to that. I want to be wedged in the first 15 seconds of that. Great. Then you will pay for it. Companies understand that. They do. So there's my idea. I said it would take 30 seconds to explain. I feel like I explained the gist of it in 30 seconds.
I feel like it.
But anyway, like 22 maybes, no yeses, no nos.
So what I'm hearing is you want to be on the agenda at the board meeting in 2026.
If this is a bad idea, I'll stop asking. I still think it's a good one.
No
one has shot a hole in it. No one's like, well, what about this? Or why you, Jimmy? Like, so give me like, pretend you don't know me. Why you? Well, I ran radio stations for 15 years and I've been doing podcasts for 10. And by the way, I have a PT degree.
I think that's extremely helpful. And I think the other thing is that you've talked to physical therapists in literally every niche in the entire profession more than once.
More than once. And if there's a niche I haven't hit, call me and we'll get it on the show. I'm excited for that. Here's the thing. I like doing it. I think I do it pretty okay. The world needs it and you can get paid doing it. And that's that Japanese theory, that Ikigai. We talked about that before, right?
Yeah.
The 4 circles. There it is. Bam. Ikigai. What you love, what the world needs, what you can get paid for, and what you're good at. I think I have all 4 there. And that's in the middle. And I feel like it does something good.
Man, I have to think about that diagram again for 2026. Why are you doing this? You're making my homework list longer.
Well, it is the 29th of December as we record. I'll release this later on today because I think this is a good time for people to have this. This is that lost week.
It is.
Between Christmas and New Year's. What are you doing? What day is it? Have you eaten?
Yeah, I don't know. I was surprised today was Monday. I'm not working this week. Do you do productive things to go into the new year nicely?
Yesterday I felt guilty. I was like, I'm not doing anything. And someone was like, you just Sunday of what'd you do when you were 11? I'm like, just play with toys, walked around in socks. Maybe they matched. Probably didn't. Just hanging out, man. I'm like, how happy were you? I was like, greatest week of the year. Then why do you feel like you should be getting something done? And I'm like, I don't know. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. That's how I work. There's the episode. There's the episode title. If you got time to clean, time to lean, you got time to clean.
Yeah.
We got 2 minutes left.
Time to think about everything that you've cleaned or take any time to lean and reflect on it.
These are all true.
Yes.
Time for parting shots.
This is the parting shot. One last mic drop moment. No pressure. Just your legacy on the line.
No pressure, just your legacy in Milan. Oh, I forgot to mention our sponsors. I do want to say thank you to Empower EMR. They have supported us for several years. An EMR that's it's not really an EMR. It's just like a communications, it's not a point solution. It's got this, it's got that, it's got the AI, it's got the scheduling. It just, as a PT or a business owner, you touch your EMR. That's probably your most used app, even more than, text and phone and Instagram. It should be smooth. So Empower EMR. Check them out online. They're great, designed exactly for physical therapists, like, empoweremr.com, schedule a demo, kick the tires, light the fires, the whole thing. Also do want to say thank you. We're going to be doing more with them in 2026 is US Physical Therapy, one of the largest brands in PT that you might not have heard of, because when clinics join them, they get all these sort of back-end resources, but they don't change their name. So if you're just standing in front of a clinic, you don't know. But they also have a need for PTs across the country. So check them out online, USPH. USPH is US Physical Therapy. USPH.com. We also want to thank Brooks Institute of Higher Learning, brooksihl.org. Residencies, fellowships, geriatrics, orthopedics, neuro, whatever you got. brooksihl.org. Look, I got all three sponsors in just before the parting shot. What is your parting shot for today?
I think my parting shot is that there is some potential for us to learn more about what works for us if we examine our successes more than we dwell on our failures.
You got to reinvent the wheel every time. It's like, I don't know, dude, maybe just look at the 80-20 rule. 80% of your success comes from 20% of what you do. Maybe do more of the 20% thing.
Yeah.
Instead of, how do I do this again? It's like, I don't know, man. The guy from the Pet Rock was like, I got an idea. Let's sell rocks. And they did it. And they're like, what should we do next year? He's like, still feel like we should sell the rocks. And eventually that ran out, but why change before you have to?
Yeah. So I'm going to try and prove that in 2026 by examining my successes more than my failures.
I like that. That's good. I will say be pro and reactive, but let's try to be 80% proactive, 20% reactive. And thank you, Jesse, for getting me my big ass calendar, which I believe comes tomorrow. Rebekah Griffith, I can't wait to hear all about your homework assignments, and we will join each other again. I'll see you next year. Oh, it's so cheesy, but it's such a dad joke.
That's it for this one, but we're just getting warmed up. Smash follow, send it to a friend, or crank up the next episode. Want to go deeper? Hit us at ptpintcast.com. Or find us on YouTube and socials at ptpintcast. And legally, none of this was advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. See, Keith, we read the script. Happy now?